Welcome to a whole new season of Building Resilience, a show about whole house solutions for extreme climate, healthy homes, and sustainability. In today's episode, we're going into the basement of a castle that's being renovated to install some new, durable engineered flooring from AHF. The flooring will be installed over a concrete slab that's been detailed to stay dry.
Everybody loves hardwood flooring, but there is a time when hardwood flooring is the wrong choice. The first step in resilient design is making good choices, and that means picking the right materials for the application. Now in this case, we have a 120-year-old building. We have concrete floors, and yes, we've replaced them. We have a capillary break, that's great, but we still have a large expanse, so we need to resist that expansion, contraction that can take place while still having a beautiful product that does the place justice and can withstand the owner's dogs and the numerous guests, which leads us to AHF's dogwood product specifically that has a very durable finish, but is also a glue-down product that will resist the kind of, well, frankly, the environment that we're putting it in. The world of engineered wood flooring is vast and complicated, and there's a lot to know. Everything from the top layer, is it an image? Is it a solid product? How thick is that product? What's the center made out of? Is it a 1-layer, 2-layer, 4-layer, 7-layer core? Is the bottom cork? Is it MDF? Is it a glue down? All of these things can change what you choose. Now in this case, what we chose was a product that the top layer is actually made out of a densified red oak. And densified basically uses a combination of heat and pressure to increase the hardness by more than double, making this the perfect resilient choice for this house.
The first step in the process is flattening out the humps in the floor, which is done with a diamond blade on a grinder and a big old fan. Because it's such a big basement, they lay the floor in sections. Small rooms are done in one shot, and larger rooms are done section by section. The first step is cleaning up the floor of old glue globs, sweeping the dust, and vacuuming up. Now we can get down to business and spill some glue. They usually spread just enough adhesive for a couple of courses, so they don't step in it, so it doesn't skin over, and so it stays relatively clean of debris. The flooring boards are tongue and groove, so when laying new planks, the main consideration is getting the tongue into the groove for a tight fit. The primary method for tightening the fit is to whack it with a mallet. As with any other piece of wood, for that last piece you can either measure it or scribe it, and scribing is always faster and more accurate. The one thing you can see in this shot is that the flooring doesn't necessarily want to sit in the glue, which is why later you'll see them way down the flooring after they finish a section. This section of flooring butts into the brick wall, whereas other sections slip into undercuts in the wall, like this. The undercut allows a little wiggle room for fitting while still achieving a really great finished look, but it doesn't remove all complications. Before digging into the complications, let's look at the easy stuff. Begin in a room without flooring and pick a wall to work from. In this case, it's the back wall and we're working toward the complications. Snap a line for that first course and spread enough glue to accommodate that first course. The first piece should be spaced off the wall about a ½ inch to allow for movement. This gap will be covered later with shoe molding. The ends of the planks have a tongue and groove just like the edge, so slip that second piece in and tap it down into the glue. Cut the last piece to fit, again leaving a gap at the wall. Now you can spread enough glue to underlay a few more courses. Stagger the joints at least 4 or 5 inches and try not to repeat the pattern in successive courses. Leave a few courses between similar joints. Now do the same thing over and then keep doing it till you run out of room. At the other end of the room is an exposed brick wall, so no baseboard and no shoe molding. This brick has been undercut so the flooring can tuck under. Because we can't slip a piece with 2 notches into an undercut, we'll need to fit the flooring in 2 pieces. The first piece is cut to fit and angled into place, as is the second one. The end of the run brings us back to the real world where Sean and Parker are cutting a tapered plank. But before spreading any glue, they test the fit.
Seems like it should go alright.
When they're confident the taper will slip into place, they spread the glue. They lay the first plank, slide the tapered plank into place, and whack it with their mallets. On the other side of the brick column, you can see how they hold the plank up and out of the glue as much as possible while whacking it in place. Over in this round nook, Parker illustrates how to get a pretty clean edge without an undercut. Scribe each edge of the board and sketch in the curve. This nook will receive a wooden paneling detail later, so the edge doesn't have to be perfect, because it'll be covered. Going back to the undercut areas, the cut is made with an undercut saw and a diamond blade. He checks the fit to make sure flooring will fit underneath, and then he cuts it again when he sees that he missed it by that much. Unfortunately, because the blade is circular, it can't cut into the corners, so there's going to be some careful scribing that needs to take place. And that scribe will be the finished cut, so it needs to be perfect. Begin by setting the workpiece in place and adjusting your scribes to the distance it sits away from its final destination, about a 1/4 inch in this case. By running the scribe along the face of the brick, the resulting line ought to be pretty darn close to exactly what it should be. Of course, the cutting may not be exact, so he's going to need to fine-tune the fit. As he zeroes in on it, he just runs the pencil along the brick portion that the flooring needs to fit to. The fine-tuning is usually done with a belt sander, a rasp, or a file to slowly creep up on the perfect fit. As promised, we're going to close out this episode by securing the flooring in place so that it'll look as good tomorrow as it does today. That involves pushing against the edge and using the old tape clamp across the joints. With the joints all taped tightly, the guys weigh down the flooring with adhesive buckets and boxes of flooring. Next, they're going to cover it with a protective layer and move on to the next room, like they did here. Next time, we're going to go into another basement, but it's not nearly this
I'm
classy.
going to start here and go there.
Yeah.
We're going to seal foundation gaps with some really great stuff, designed for distance shooting.